strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation, don't try my patience. I'ma pull out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they interplay. They're hot as can be, winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Got an open man. It's Fumagalli. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the...
Ready up.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw left side complete. That's sharp. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. On first down, Staley. Darren Lee there to get him down. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter. Now a give, right side. Staley. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh. 61. Matchbox lights. Off the screen. Off the screen.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
6 pilot. 64.
They'll try the left side. Staley, and he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 3rd down, Staley, and he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially,
Ready. Mike 47. All day. Sleep grip.
now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he will find his man on the outside. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Back to throw. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off here, the 32. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback. They treat it like...
On the set.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
5.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And it's the Bills who lead that one late in the 2nd quarter. The Bills seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, let's head off and check out a 2nd game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Michael Gallup, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. In that game, all square as they take on the visiting Seahawks. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
welcome everyone.
Here we go, set, 60 or.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Hey. Ready.
They'll run on first down. Staley. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after them now.
9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On first down, Staley, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. They'll keep it on the ground. Staley. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Ready? 50, plant. 22 jet bombers, 22 jet bombers.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
You get it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A well-executed 22-yard gain. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Making the catch is Sternberger. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Ready? 60 outlaw. Pilot, 64, weak. Let's go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Ready?
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Von Bell. And he returns it up just shy of...
Down. 60 Pittsburgh.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Over the middle, complete. It's Sharp. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 31. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Everyone's got four down.
2nd and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sharp. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
6-6, pull it high. Get it.
They'll look to throw again. This will be caught at about the 6. That'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Come on, set. 10-2 start. You draw Corker.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming.
Let go.
Looking to throw. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Go.
First down. General 5.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sharp. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll set up to throw. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. They'll look to throw here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Saints, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they dropped their 7th game on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So for Charles Davis.